with Kip's Corner. Welcome back, and if you're new, welcome. Thanks for joining me. I'm working on the Once Upon a Time journal, and what I'm doing at this stage is just going through each signature, which is a different story, one at a time, and like trying to sort of get that signature done. And so there's going to be 9 signatures. It's going to be big guy, girl, whatever. And this is the cover, and this is just a hardboard. And then I've got Little Red Riding Hood is done, and so that's the cover of the signature for her. I'm not going to show you all the rest of it, but Little Red Riding Hood is done. Rapunzel is also done, so that's the cover, the signature cover of Rapunzel. And right now what I'm working on is, the next one is Beauty and the Beast, and that's the signature cover of Beauty and the Beast. And so what I want to do is, I've got this is also from Tracy's kit, this tag. I don't have it fully cut out yet, but I want to put it on a background. And so I'm going to create that background, trying to pull up some of these colors in here and get them in my background, and then I'll cut this off. So this is just a piece of, what is this? It's 140-pound rough mixed media paper. So it has a little bit of a texture to it, very subtle, kind of like a little bit like a rough watercolor paper, a little bit smoother than that. But anyway, so what I'm going to do, and I've got some, I'm going to start with some texture, and when I went to open my, this is paper texture paste from Finnabar Art Extravagance, and it was dried up. I mean, it was almost empty anyway, so I'm not losing anything. So what I did is I just added water, dabbed at it, stirred it up, added some more water, and just kind of kept adding little bits of water at a time until I felt like it was kind of at the consistency it used to be. So this will be the last time I use this jar, and I will get a new one because there's not that much left anyway. But it might be a little lumpy because of that. But I'm just going to take my palette knife and just kind of scrape that on here. And I got it to pretty close to the consistency. There's a few lumps. Yeah, like there's a big lump. There's a big lump. But otherwise, I pretty much got it to the consistency that it was when I first got it. And I want to make this big enough so I have plenty of room. A couple little blobs there. Plenty of room for the tag, to cut a tag out, a tag shape out. So I'm just going to kind of keep dabbing that on there. That's probably enough. Just kind of go like that. And I want some texture. I don't want those big clumps though. But I do want, there we go. That's pretty good. Let me put just a little bit more down here. And then I'm going to stop. Let me get this off of here. And then I think I'm going to bid this jar of texture paste goodbye. It's definitely seen better days. And I'm making a mess. So I'm going to wipe up my mess real quick before I get this all over the place. But I got another use out of it. Maybe, you know, technically there's probably 2 uses out of this. There's enough here for, that's soft enough for a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and dry this. And so now I'm just going to start playing with color. I've got Nova Color Raw Umber. It's the light raw umber, and so I thought that that would be a good one to start with. So I'm just going to dab a little bit of that out, and water that down just a little bit. And then we'll just throw some raw umber on here. And I'm just gonna literally kind of dab it all over the place. I'm not paying much attention or worried too much about where that's going. And then I'm going to spray this. So what I'm going to do is just keep adding layers and dry, and then layers and then dry, and just keep going until I'm kind of happy with what I've got. All right, I want a little bit of this red, trying to get this deep red in here. So I'm going to use Crimson liquid acrylic from Finnabar. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to drop it in, just a couple drops. It's very concentrated on color, so a little bit goes a long way. And add some, and this might be too violet, but we'll see what happens. We'll see. Just going to get a brush, dab that around. Let's maybe put a little bit of raw umber in there. There we go. Tone that down just a tiny bit. Of course, now it looks more violet than red. I don't have a lot of reds in my color arsenal. Oh, I might like that one better. Yeah. I think I like it better mixed with the raw umber. So let's just dab a little. I'm just going to kind of put a splotch on there and spray it out. Oh, I do like that. Let's dab a little bit of that off. Okay. That's good. Let's do that again over here. And I don't know what part of this I'll end up using, so I'm just playing with the whole thing pretty much. I mean, maybe not going quite to the edge, but pretty much just playing with the whole thing. And literally just playing, just playing. Let's dab a little bit of that off. Don't want quite that much. Okay, now I think I want to put a little bit of burnt sienna. And this is Golden High Flow Acrylics in burnt sienna. And so I think that's what I want to do next. And I'm going to put that in the middle first, just to see if I like it, because I know no matter what I do, the middle of this tag is pretty much what would be covered. I'm not using any kind of brush in particular. Oh, I do like that rust look. Burnt sienna is the closest, I think, to rust. Usually mixed in with some other things. I said I was going to do that down the middle, didn't I? Let's get some on here. All right, let's see what happens there. Roll that off. There we go. And one thing I don't want is color to be consistent. I want there to be highs and lows and different colors and things like that throughout. Again, even though just a small portion of this is going to actually show. Now I've got my golden, just regular acrylic, I'll turn it the right way, in raw umber. And I'm going to, I think I'm just going to put this on my finger. Yeah, that might be too dark. Yep, that's too dark. That's dark. That's too dark. Okay, let's wipe that off. Let me spray that down. Maybe it's not too dark if I put some water in it. Oh, that helped. Okay. Ooh, I do like that. I like that in that darker area there. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that. But now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and get some very watered down, very light, itty bitty tiny bit. I need another brush. And do a wash over this. Okay, now I want to get a tiny, tiny bit of this reddish color. It's really not red, it's really more of a purple. I want to get a little bit more of that in here. Just kind of go all the way down. Like I said, I don't know where I'm going to cut this yet. I want it to go over. There we go. Just a hint. Let me get this off and I'll show you. I'm looking kind of right through here. Not worried about this far edge here because I think that will be gone. Okay, let's dry that. Okay, let's stop there. I keep saying let's stop there and I keep going. This is the kind of thing where I could just keep going and keep going and keep going. But at some point I'm going to say, okay, I think that's going to work for what I'm looking for. All right, so first off, I know that I'm liking this edge, this part right here. And so I'm going to cut a straight edge kind of right through there. And let me get my... hang on. Too much on my desk. Too much. Let's get this wood picked up. I don't want to get paint all over my trimmer. Does anybody else do that where you work yourself into a little tiny spot? Yep, I do it all the time. Okay, I wanted to cut right about here. Let's try that first. Okay. And let's see, how wide does this need to be? Let's cut right through here. This might be too wide, but I'll trim it back down more later. And so I'm basically cutting off the pieces on the edges, the four sides that I'm pretty sure I'm not going to want or need or use. But I just don't want to cut too much off. Cut some of this off down here. Okay, let's see now. We've got this piece. Looks a little different when it's trimmed out, right? Get that straightened up a little bit. Let me get this off the table. Now what I think I'll do is do some dry brushing. And I said I was going to dry brush with black, but I think I'm going to dry brush with a dark brown of some sort. Let's see, what should we use? And I'm just going to go around the edge on this one too, because remember the center of this will be covered by the tag. So this is giving it just a little bit more color on top. Darker color, darkening it up, honestly, is what I'm doing, intentionally. don't want to go too dark there. Okay. Now what I want to do, believe it or not, is dry brush with some white. Or maybe not white. Cream. Let's do some cream. So this is a cream colored gesso by Dervain Matisse. It's kind of a puttyish color. And I'm going to go back over this with the what little left I have of the raw umber. I just want a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. Ah, I just got paint all over my hand. The only reason I stopped to wipe that off is because if I don't, it'll get in the wrong place. Okay, let's wipe this off. I'm going to go back over here where I got this a little heavier than I wanted. There we go. That's better. So you can just keep layering until you're happy with it. You can layer with whatever you want. It doesn't have to be dry brush. I could go back over this with wet paint if I wanted to. So really, it's just a matter of playing, and I like that. I like it. Okay, now I got to figure out where I want to put my tag, or where I want to trim this out. I'm using the new burnt timber. No, not burnt, scorched timber from Tim Holtz Distress Ink. And this has got such a dark edge, but you can hardly tell that I'm doing it. But the reason I am anyway is because I want that white edge of my paper to disappear. So I'm going to go ahead and go all the way around, where even though the only place you can really see it is up here at the top where it's a little lighter. Okay. Now I've got to figure out where I want this and about how big I want it to be. I'm liking that. I've always kind of liked that. Let's go with that. I like it. I actually like it. Yay. All right, let me ink the edges. I want to get some nice dark. It's coming back to the scorched timber. The red of the tag was primarily kind of over here on this side. And so I added that dash of, it's really not red, but that dash of red to pull that together. The orange is kind of pulling, it's not really orange either, but those burnt sienna is kind of pulling from some of the colors in here. And so I'm really happy with that. I think that's pretty. Now, one of the things as I begin to finish this off, I want to look at the overall feel and the materials and the pieces used. There's some spine from book page on here. There's some corrugated cardboard on here. This also is from a book. I don't know if I've got any of this stuff left over. I keep a little pile while I'm working on a journal. If I do, it would be right over here. Like here's a piece of cardboard. This is just a corrugated. So now I'm going to ask myself, let me tear this up a little bit more. Do I want to put some of this on here? And this is just a way to tie in the pieces without them being matchy-matchy. I don't want everything in this journal to be matchy-matchy, but I want them to all, whatever I do to the different pages, to be complementary. If that makes sense. Oh, there we go. I got a little bit of that extra paper. Do I want something on here, either on top? Oh, that doesn't look horrible. It's a little big. Let's tear some of this off. There we go. Tear some off. You know, do I want something like that on there to bring the two together? Maybe some splatters. I kind of like that. Now this had a little bit of dry brushing on it in that cream, if I'm not mistaken. And the other thing about Beauty and the Beast, so it's not just about the Beast. Does this look better here? That might look better there. Because remember, all that work I did to get that red in there, I don't want to cover it up. There we go. So in case you can't tell, what I'm doing is picking up some of the elements that are on this page. Now this is a little different color, but it's the same idea. Picking up some of the elements that are on this page and incorporating them into the tag just to tie those two together just a little bit. Now what I want to do is I'm going to smush that eyelet a little bit. So I'm just taking a little, this is just a little craft hammer. I actually think this is a Tim Holtz. I'm going to smash it up. Little details make a big difference. So I like to add little tiny details. We all do. As a matter of fact, let's see. Do I really want to be done with this or do I want to keep playing? I'm looking over here off to the side to see what I have in my little stash of things sitting here. And I have one of these little clips. These are called paper fasteners. And now I'm just wondering if I need, let's do it. I'm just going to add a little paper fastener right there. Right there. This needs to be pinched. And I can usually pinch it with my fingers, but I'm going through several layers here. So I'm going to go ahead and pinch this with my jewelry pliers. Make sure it's sort of straight. And let's make sure we went all the way through. Yeah, we did. We did. Okay, now I'm going to stop and now I'm going to say it's done. All right, so here's what we have. This is the printout from Tracy's kit. Sorry, I've got glue and paint all over me. This is the background that we made, just playing with splattering different colors all over the place. Then a little bit of dry brushing to get some of that lighter color in there. And then I just added this little cluster of stuff. This is just corrugated cardboard, a piece from a book spine, two more pieces from book spines, one from the inside, one from the outside, two from the inside. The little gold brass paper fastener. Those are vintage pieces. About the only place I've ever found them really is on eBay. And they're called paper fasteners. And then some splatters. Then up here I hammered the eyelet just because there was no reason to have this beautiful pretty eyelet here on this ugly, the quote unquote ugly beast. And then some sari at the top with some string tied around just to add a little bit of more texture. And there we go. It's my tag for Beauty and the Beast. And this is the cover. And so these are supposed to be what I would call complementary. Did not want them to be matching, but I wanted them to look like they go together with the same story. And so I think we accomplished that. And now I need to work more on the inside of Beauty and the Beast. And I'm going to keep going. There are 9 signatures in total in this, or will be if I keep all of them in there. As of right now, 9. And what I'm doing is just going from signature to signature and focusing on that story and that signature and that look and vibe. The overall look of this will be a little bit grungy, But the idea is that each signature is decorated, if you will, created to coincide with the story and with the front page of the signature here. So whatever colors, like this has got the reds and the greens, they're in the forest, or she was walking through the forest. And then the red, of course, kind of goes with Little Red Riding Hood. And so that's kind of carried throughout. There's more of that red on the back. There's some red inside. I'm not going to show you everything, but I'll stop there. And there's kind of that, it's not really red, but it worked. And then there's red sort of in the buttons. And then this is old vintage pieces, fabrics. This is like from grandmother's dress kind of thing. You get the idea. So each signature will go with the story and the colors and the things used on the front page of the signature, if that makes sense. So in this one, for example, Rapunzel, these fabrics make appearances later on in the signature as well. So yeah, I'm going to keep going. So 2 signatures done. I would say maybe 2 and a third signatures done. Working on Beauty and the Beast now. I'll continue to work on Beauty and the Beast. And then I will, I think, it just depends on what I'm in the mood for, who I work on next. So this is not a project that is going to be done quickly. This is a project that I'm taking my time with and just sort of playing periodically. I am going to be starting another journal soon, before I get done with this one, I think. I'm going to be starting, I have some ideas for what I want to do for, what is the name of her kit? One of the new kits Tracy came out with, Silhouette. And it's not just Silhouette, it's got 2 names. I haven't printed anything out yet, so I don't have it in front of me, so I cannot remember the name. But I'm going to be getting started on that. I had some ideas kind of come to me as to do with that one. And so that's next up on my list to get started on. So then I'll continue to have, 2 journals at a time. I also do have, I can get started now on the next butterfly project piece. And that is going to be, it's going to be a box. We'll just say it that way. So lots going on. I am also in the process of organizing and getting things ready for another sale for you all. I cannot decide. As a matter of fact, if you could comment and let me know when I get ready to do another sale, I'm trying to decide if I should do a live sale. And if I do, I might have to split it across a couple days because I have that much. Or if I divide the pieces kind of by what they are, for example, paper and books in one, fabric and linens in another, ephemera pieces and just fun pieces in a third, and do a video where I just show you them and then you can email me if you're interested in anything. So and the beauty of that, it allows you to watch the video whenever you can, so you don't have to commit to a 3, 4, 5, 6 hour live sale. And then it also, I think, could be better for me too, and that I can spread things out a little bit. So let me know if you're interested, if you would be interested in going, you think I should do a live sale or a video sale. So give me a holler through the comments below. And I think that's all the yammering I have. So thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back. Bye-bye.